what inspired you to have seen your holistic preventive approach, WIP as you call it, and how has it transformed your personal view on health and well-being?
There are things that that will happen, that will transpire, which are beyond your imagination and just beyond your comprehension in terms of what you can plan. So you have to be open to receiving that, but for that you really have to set up the foundation right.
I welcome hearing from all of you on your comments, on your suggestions, on your feedback, and let me know what else you want to hear more on. If you found value on our channel Health with Nitin Dua through any of our videos, including this one, do consider sharing, subscribing.
Yeah, thank you for this question. Again, it's a very deep question to me, and it really goes back to what I was saying to you, right? It really starts with reflection, right? What am I really going after, and why am I going after that? And then there are things that that will happen, that will transpire, which are beyond your imagination and just beyond your comprehension in terms of what you can plan. So you have to be open to receiving that, but for that you really have to set up the foundation right to get the access to it. But to simplify it, there have been situations in my own life, right, which really led me to prioritize when I was not really having the full clarity of what I should prioritize. I was forced to realize what the priorities are, right? And that really revealed I have been working in health for a very long time professionally, but despite all of that, and frankly even did research in the brain back in the day at Stanford, right? So despite understanding the nuances, I was still not fully clear back in the day as I am today in terms of what that clarity should reveal and what should the priority be. So there are a couple of situations that I'll speak why I'm doing this, right? And why I'm inspired to do this. One is just my own journey of going through a bunch of situations which I could have handled much better, and going into a downward spiral of constantly thinking through that I may not be good enough in that situation, which wasn't completely true, because I have been there, and this is a very normal phenomena, but somehow my training of the mind was working against me. And this happens to the brightest of folks that I today get an opportunity to serve. So it's a very common thing, but somehow we don't realize how that really plays out. So
Yeah,
one, I really had to go through a journey to see it for myself and then reflect to act on that, coupled with a situation that happened in my life where I lost my loving mother to diabetes. And this is one way for me to really pay a tribute to her and to go beyond her to serve more people globally on these common issues, because today this is not just affecting like hundreds of people, it's like millions of people, and not just like in certain countries, pretty much across the globe. I've spent a lot of time in US, same situation there. Same time situation in India. I'm looking at Middle East, same situation is happening there, because I think our lifestyles have changed. And it's not just food, there's a lot of constant stress. There's a lot of other factors playing, that are causing this. So at the heart of it, I think these two factors have grown it quite heavily. Now, combined with what I've done over the last 17 plus years professionally as well, and looking at data of people, looking at what has worked for me, looking at what has worked for others, what has worked for through other programs, like connecting the dots per se of what did I learn from Stanford doing research in the brain? What did I learn from all of this? What do I learn from my own experience? What have I learned from looking at other people's data? What I've learned by working with my closest people? And besides all of that, really centered in the why of why am I doing this daily, right? Why do I get up to do this daily? Besides the reason that I mentioned about, how I fought my own journey and came on the other side. And what really brings all of this together is how much of an opportunity I have to give to serve. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are struggling with very similar problems that we didn't realize because we feel like we are the only ones. But since I now have the opportunity to serve thousands of people and touch their lives in some ways, I can see a pattern. I mean, even going back to the day of my researcher days as a AI researcher, where I could see patterns, I see patterns here as well, right? And I think that opportunity to serve also goes a very long way, and I'm truly grateful to be in a space to do that. I think that's what is all seeding, for me at least. And to me, honestly, if the way I run right now, those 16 hours, I still do that today, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like work.
that's beautiful, like the way that you have derived it, and I think it's pretty awesome.
Until I see you in the next video, this is Nitin Dua serving you with love.